Is the RadMini Step-thru worth $1,400? I'm going to let you know in this episode of Travels with Delaney. Welcome back, everyone. My name's Patrick, and we're so glad you stopped by Travels with Delaney today. In this episode, we're going to be sharing with you all about our electric bike that we purchased from Rad Power Bikes. Now, stay to the end of this video so I can tell you all about the amazing bike helmet that we purchased to go along with these. But before we get to that, we want to focus on these particular bikes. Now, we had been looking for electric bikes for quite some time, and there's lots of brands and styles to choose from. They range from a few $100s up to several $1,000s. Ultimately, we chose Rad Power Bikes out of Seattle, Washington for several reasons. Number one, we had friends that owned them and they swear by them. Number two, I found out they'd been around for over 7 years, and even though e-bikes are fairly new, it was nice to know that we would be dealing with a company that has a track record. And number three, when I jumped on some of their forums, I found out that their owners are passionate about their bikes and they're passionate about Rad as a company. Now, let me just say right up front, this is not a sponsored video and we paid for our bikes, so this will be a completely unbiased review. But so far, I can tell you, we absolutely love Rad, both the bikes and the company. Their customer service through the buying purchase was phenomenal. Excellent communication, quick to respond to my questions, and shipping was amazing. The bike showed up within a few days after we ordered them, which is amazing considering what's going on in the world with the coronavirus. And the packaging on the boxes was awesome. They use lots of foam to make sure when your bike shows up at home that it is not scratched, that it is fully intact and ready to be assembled. Now, we can talk about assembly in a little bit, but let's go ahead and dive into the specs on this bike. So the RadMini Step-thru currently only came in white, but I love this white. It gives us good visibility when we're riding, and I love the gray and orange accent trim on it. The things we really liked about this particular model is the fact that it does fold in half right here, swings around, and then your handlebar will come down. And what's nice about that is it creates a much smaller footprint for us to put it up in our truck bed. The other thing I really liked about this particular model was this lower center point. Now, on the RadMini, which also is a folding bike, it actually comes straight across, so it's got a little bit higher center point, although not high compared to a lot of bicycles. But I just preferred, for me and for Patty, to go ahead and go with the Step-thru, so as we get older, it's just going to make it easier for us to get on and off the bike. Now, it comes with a 48-volt lithium battery, and I read that the range on these are anywhere from 25 miles up to 45 miles, and a lot of it's going to depend on your riding style. What level of pedal assist are you using, and are you using the throttle at all? Now, the battery can be easily removed. Just lift up, and this can be taken inside to be charged or just for security purposes. Now, you can actually charge it right on the bike, or you can take it off. On the side of the battery is this little port that we just pull the cap out, and we will plug in the charger that comes with the bike. Once you go ahead and we put the battery back in place, on the side where the key is, we can then go ahead and put it into the locked position. And that way, the battery is locked right on the bike, and if we take our key, they can't steal just the battery. They could take the whole bike, obviously. And then when we're ready to ride, we just go ahead and click it into the on position. Now, I love the feature here on the front. They have a battery indicator light, so I can just go ahead and push that, and it will let me know where my charge level is on the bike. You can also find out your charge level up on the display panel, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. The bike does come with 2 keys for you, but I went ahead and removed one and keep it in a secure place just in case I would lose or break this one. What I have found with the bike is, at least for me so far, I do have to go ahead and slide the seat off to the side to remove the battery. However, I've just been charging the battery right on the bike, and that works out just fine. For another review of this bicycle, stay to the end of this video where I'm going to link the review done by the Electric Bike Review. Now, he does nothing but reviews on electric bikes, and you can check him out here on YouTube, and you can also go to his website for the written reviews. I'll put that link at the end of this video. You might have caught that I called it the RadMini Step-thru 2. That means it's on version number 2, and the upgrades on the second version of this bike is they now include both the front and the rear fenders. Before you had to buy those as an add-on, but they're now included with your bike, and they're made out of a plastic. And I actually like that because if they get dinged up at all, we don't have to worry about them rusting. The other really nice upgrade in Model 2 is the tires. Now on the original version, it was more of like a slick tire, and our friends had to change theirs out because they said anytime you got on loose sand or gravel, there just was no traction. So they have actually changed out the tires on the RadMini Step-thru 2 to this one that gives you a little bit more traction. It actually has like a checkerboard style of tread, and so far we have found no issues riding on gravel roads. Now we haven't been to a beach yet to try them on sand, but based upon our friends out in Washington, they tell us no issues with these upgraded tires. The front of this bike, and one of the reasons we went with this company over some of the other companies, is this actually comes with the suspension front, and you can see it will actually give as you hit the bumps or the potholes or anything like that, and we really like it. There is a option to lock it out if you want that more solid fork. You can do that, and there's a lot more on this bike. Honestly, there's a lot of features I'm still learning, but this can definitely almost be like programmed for your body for that absorption. But so far we haven't even really messed with that. We're just leaving it in the spring position, and it's working great for us. Now Rad includes with this particular bike this front headlight, and I absolutely love this light. I came out in the dark and tried it, and it really lights up. And what I also like is the fact that you can actually adjust it here and point it down so you're actually lighting the roadway or the sidewalk or whatever if you're riding at night. And then in the back you'll also find a rear light. This acts as a brake light, so every time you hit your brakes it's going to light up, or you can just have it on while riding. And as a bonus, there's a little rubber button down below. You can turn it into a flasher. So if we're going out on roads, we go ahead and turn our lights on and turn it into flash mode. That way if somebody's coming up, they'll hopefully see that flashing light to let them know we're coming. That's a nice feature. The bike uses these disc brakes that you see both here on the front and the rear of the bike, and they're controlled by the grips up top on the handlebar. Here you'll see the handlebar. It comes with these really nice faux leather stitch grips, and you'll notice they kind of give you a place to rest your palm when riding, and we really like that. You don't always see that on all bicycles. Now it uses the Shimano shifter, and it's really easy. It's a 7-speed bike, and to shift all we have to do is push to go to a lower gear, and then we push in this button to bring it to the higher gear. To control the actual motor on this, we just go ahead and push the center mode button, and that's going to activate the power on it. And then we have an up and we have a down arrow that's going to control our power assist. Now there's 5 levels of power assist on the bicycle. The higher the number, the more assist you'll get. Over here you'll find the actual throttle, and this is a turn throttle. Now I have heard some people complain about it being a turn throttle, and there are definitely modifications that you can make to have more of a shifter style. We've actually not had any issues using it as a twist throttle, so we're fine with that. Now your brake controllers are right behind, and we find them to be in a good position for us to control both the front and the rear brake. Now, some of you may notice that over here on the side, there is a mirror. This does not come with the bicycle. These are mirrors that we had on our Trek bikes, and we just went ahead and moved them over from those bikes onto this bike, and we actually like this little mirror. It's easy to adjust, but that is not standard with this particular bike. Now, as far as the control panel here, what you have is you get a readout of where your battery is right here in the upper left-hand corner, and there are 5 marks there. It goes from full all the way to empty, and since there's 5, we would assume that roughly 20% for each mark. Over here we have our odometer, and that odometer can actually be changed to trip odometer. So if you want to see how much you're riding on a particular trip, or you have your lifetime odometer. In the center is where you're going to see your speed, and then in this lower left hand corner is your power assist level, so you know where you're at with that. And then on the lower right hand corner is the watts, how many watts are being used to power the motor. Obviously the more watts being used, the shorter the battery life, the less watts used, the longer the battery life. So it's really simple to control while you're sitting here, and to shut it off you just push down and hold. The Step-thru comes with this beautiful brown seat. It's a Velo plush, and it does have quite a bit of padding on it. So far, we're happy with it. However, we see a lot of Rad owners eventually end up changing these out to a Cloud 9 seat. But so far, we like it. There is a handle here on the backside, which really is nice for lifting the bike up. And I've just added a small bag that I carry just a few little tools in that I was using on my Trek bike. Now, you can adjust the seat height with one of these real simple clamps where you just kind of pull out, it loosens it, and then you can slide it up and down, and then you just push in to lock it into place. Now, if you're worried as to whether this bike is too short for you, I highly recommend you go to the Rad Power Bikes website, because they have a real nice chart on there that will have you measure yourself, and then there's a chart that'll show you which Rad bike is best for you as far as with your height. This is the highest point, and this works perfect for me. If I was much taller and I'm 5'10", then it might be a little short for me, and I might have to consider looking at an alternative post for the seat. But honestly, at 5'10", I'm comfortable riding it. Rad gives you this really nice kickstand, and I love the placement of it. It's back behind and out of the way. The bottom is made out of like a plastic, and then it is a metal kickstand, and you can see it works really easy and it's out of the way. They use a metal pedal, which I really like. And like I said, we love these bikes. They just seem like they're so well built. And what's really nice is even these just push in and fold for easy transport. And you just fold them up, and then when you're ready to ride again, pull them back out and you're good to go. You'll see this is actually metal to protect your chain on both sides. I really like that. Here on the back side of the bike is where we'll find the actual motor, and they use a Bafang motor. And then I love the fact that they actually put this metal guard here to protect this Shimano Altus. Just really nice. And they had this nice padding right along here to, again, just for things like the dirt and the grease that may come off your chain. Just kind of a nice protection right there. It's all these little things that really impressed us with Rad. Now, I talked about the tires already. These are a 3.5-inch tire, and I believe that's down from a 4-inch on the original version of the Mini Step-thru. And these are co-branded with Kenda. Bonus feature, that's right, they even include the bell. The water bottle holder did not come with the bike, but the posts are already there for you to add it as an accessory. So I just took it off of my old bike, and now I have my water bottle easily accessible right here. Okay, I think the next thing is to show you just how easy this bike folds down. I had thought about doing a time lapse to show you how to break down the bike, but I want to show you in real time just to show you how easy it actually is. So the first thing I would do is go ahead and let's get our pedals folded up, and then I also set this pedal kind of at an angle on the high side over here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and unlatch it here in the center. So I just pull up on that little lever, pull my latch over, I'm just going to set it back around. Now the bike is attached right here in the center. And you can see if I just go ahead, I can start bending it around. Now the other thing I need to do is I want to fold my handlebar down. So I'm going to go ahead and push on the little red button right there and just pull. And then this will just lay right down, and put my kickstand up, and I'm going to pull my front around just like this, and there we go. We are folded. Now what I really like is Rad includes right down here a little rest, so that when it's in the folded position, it will sit on a solid surface. You'll notice, be very careful here, Rad has actually routed all the wires up through the tubing of the bike, and I like that, so you don't have a ton of exposed wires. And there we go. They also include with it a Velcro strap so you can hold the front and the back together, making it easy for you to go ahead and lift it up without having it flop. Now let's go ahead and do it in reverse and put it back together. So I'm just going to lift up a little bit, and I'm going to swing the front out and around. And at this point, I'm going to kind of move that. All right, and let's go ahead and get our handlebar popped up into position out of the way. And now all we do is just push in, and that's locked. Always make sure you test all these points afterwards that they're good and solid and locked. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put that J lock right back there. Pull this up and around in, And I'm just gonna double check it. There we go. We can put our kickstand down, get our pedals ready to ride. All right, I guess the next thing we need to do, hop on the bike and let's go for a ride. So one of the things we really like about these bikes is having the accelerator makes taking off from a complete stop so much easier. And once Patty gets going, then she's able to start her pedaling. The bikes are actually very zippy, and so we found pedal assist 2 and 3 is pretty good when it's flat out. If you get any kind of an incline though, it's nice knowing you have 4 and 5 that you can go ahead and kick in. One of the downsides to these bikes, and probably most electric bikes, is the overall weight of them. They're quite heavy compared to a normal bike, and this particular one weighs well over 60 pounds. So lifting it out and into my truck bed is a little bit of a challenge. However, we're probably going to end up using a bike rack most times on the back of the truck, so that should make it a little bit easier. You may be wondering what we spent on our bikes. Well, the Rad Step-thru Mini 2s retail at $14.99. However, we were able to save $200 per bicycle. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the Rad website, they do offer discounts for people like teachers, military, police, and so on. And even if you don't qualify for one of those discounts, they typically will run specials. So when we ordered ours, they were running a special for anyone where if you ordered 2 bikes, you receive $200 off your order. They're not the cheapest ones on the market, but they're not the most expensive either. So Patty, do you love your RadMini Step-thru 2?
I do.
What's your favorite part of it?
I think for me, it's the pedal assist and the throttle together sometimes because of my knee. Trying to get up that big hills, it helps me.
So it makes bike riding fun again?
Yes, definitely.
Are they speedy? I'd say so. Let's try. We don't normally ride that fast. Normally we're pretty happy riding about 12 to 14 miles an hour, so these are just perfect for us. When your bike shows up, you are going to need to do some assembly. Things like installing the front wheel, the front and the rear fenders, but it's pretty easy. And Rad makes it super easy even if you're not real good with tools, because they have prepared videos on YouTube for each model of bike they have. And all you have to do is watch the video a couple times and then just have it available as you're putting your bike together. First one took me, I'd say maybe 30-35 minutes. The second one took me significantly less, and I had them both together in under an hour. Alright, I told you when we got to the end of this video I'd share with you which bike helmet we went with. And we chose the Sena R1s. Now, this is not a cheap bike helmet, but they are amazing. What we love about these helmets is not only are they really solid constructed and they're comfortable, but they have built-in electronics. There's speakers on both sides and there's a microphone in the front. They allow you to connect your smartphone so you can, let's say, listen to music or take phone calls while riding. But more importantly, they allow you to connect up to 4 of these together to use as an intercom system while you're riding. That way, instead of screaming at each other going down the bike trail, you can actually just talk in your regular voice and whoever you're paired with will hear it. We're going to do a complete review of these in the future. Until next time, everybody, we'll see ya on down the road.